It's very much a changing time we're in right now. Just to give you some scope of why that change is happening, here's the briefest history of the world you've ever seen. We've only had 4 economies in the history of the world. Hunter-gatherers, it's always technology that changes things, tools that till the soil, the agricultural age, machines driven by energy, the cotton ginny to the jet plane, industrial age, information age, computers and telecommunications, the information age. Now, as these technologies typically kick in, it changes the nature of jobs, careers, and how you work. So we're in that era now because we're entering the 5th economy as we speak. I call it the age of innovation. Look at the nature of jobs. That's those percentages. So in the agricultural age, when Canada was first settled, 90% of us were farmers, pioneer times. Now there's less than 2% on the farms. The cool thing, and hats off to all of you, is that the 2% produces far more output than we ever dreamed of with 90% of us doing it. So efficiencies and so on are on the upswing. But what we've required in a commodity-driven industrial age market, which agricultural is still sitting in the industrial age for the most part, okay? Still is. There's an awful lot of information coming your way. Soil and monitoring and all kinds of stuff that would maybe increase yields. That's the information age with more opportunities. But if you talk about the industrial age, what did you need for success? You needed economies of scale, making one object really well so that you could reduce your costs, because the only way you're competing in a commodity market is to be the lower priced person. That's the game you've been in. Increased efficiencies, lower cost, economies of scale, trying to get more efficient at what you do. I'm suggesting there's maybe a different route if we take on some of the strategies successful organizations have done for the information age in terms of the opportunities and challenges they've faced. But we're entering the innovation age. I call it that in case. And a big cornerstone of it is DNA life sciences, genomics, all the actions that are looking at the future of cattle and what are the genetic traits, and could we manage them? Could we create a more tender beef product? Could we create other value-added streams? And the answer is, I think we can. It's much more robust computerization. How many of you have much more extensive herd management records? Let's see the hands. More extensive herd management records over time. These will get even more extensive because it's going to get more complicated as we go. And I'll try to explain that as well. A big cornerstone of this is nanotechnology, the real micro, and looking at opportunities around that. And a big cornerstone of the new economy, and this is where it's changing from the industrial age, is that we're moving to an economy where we're customizing the end product. So it's not the same exact product we make with economies of scale over time to try to get cheaper. Here's the future, folks, of manufacturing. Now, if you want to buy a bike and you're in Japan, you go to the retail store, you get on a bike simulator, you pedal the bike, okay? It measures your pedaling speed, your physics of your motions and your body movements, and electronically sends to the plant the unique recipe for your bike. Every single bike is made to the end customer's requirements. Why? Because that's the ultimate margin. If something's customized, we will pay more for it because it meets our needs in a better way. And that's the only reason we'll pay more for any object or item, is that it meets needs in a better way. We have to have that story of why it meets needs in a better way, and we go, wow. And if that story's there, we expect to pay more, we want to pay more if it's important to us. And in fact, if the price of that object is less than others, we think, ooh, something's wrong. In fact, it doesn't help to have a lower price. Okay? Working with Second Cup Coffee, the founder of Second Cup came before Tim Hortons. The only way they survived was to double the price of their coffee, and then people started buying it. Must be good stuff. Okay, so in essence, how do you get out of the commodity to make more margins is really the focus of my comments as we move forward as far as the beef industry goes. But there's more potential for advanced manufacturing.